In 1995, French automaker Renault, of all people, came out with this rather interesting thing called the Renault Espace F1. Now this limited production vehicle had a twofold purpose. The first purpose of it was to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Renault's Espace MPV model and their Formula 1 successes in 1994. And yes, the actual Espace F1 had a Williams F1 engine in it with 800 horsepower, which meant that it could do over 190 miles per hour, and 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers per hour was just 2.8 seconds. So that's pretty cool. As far as it's known, two cars exist, a functional show car and a second static model. And well, we've got plenty of model cars of it. And here we are. It's a 2025 casting from Hot Wheels, a gift from my wife during a recent overseas trip of hers. And it's from the Hot Wheels Modified or HW Modified lineup. So it is of course an officially licensed product. Let's liberate it, because I mean, from the bright yellow paintwork to the ostentatious looks of it, this is definitely not your typical Espace. And wow, okay, the model is not as heavy as I expected. I was expecting a bit more heft, to be honest, but it's still obviously all metal construction. That massive splitter and spoiler at the rear is cast into the metal too. Nothing opens of course on this, and these side pods on it are actually, well, they're plastic. Yes, they're plastic components. They feel plasticky to me. But yeah, the rest of the model is very nice. And we have got some headlamp detail going on there, as well as the Renault shield there. At the rear, no detail. So this is one of those Hot Wheels models where at least they've gone back to giving us something, giving us headlamp detail instead of giving us nothing, which I think we have seen with some of their newer models. You get nothing. Here at least you get headlamp detail but no tail lamp detail. So I think that's forgivable, given that you've got these very nice cooling side strakes there and the Espace F1 decals. And if you look inside, you can see, yes, it is a 4-seater. So yes, you could terrify 3 passengers in this thing if you actually were lucky enough to own one. Left-hand drive, of course. It's a French vehicle. And yeah, pretty decent. You can just about, like I said, see the 4 seats just modeled in the plastic there. And if you look at the underside, that's also a yellow underside card. And this is a 2025 model. So unlike some other 2025 models that say 2024 on the bottom, which means they were made in 2024, this has been made this year. So it's pretty fresh as it comes into my hands. Made in Malaysia, of course. Hot Wheels, owned by Mattel. How does it roll? Before I check the rolling, check out the rims. They've properly modeled the actual rims of the Espace F1. So I guess with all those factors, you could kind of forgive them for foregoing painting the tail lights a little red at least. I guess I'm okay with that, I suppose. How does it roll? It's a little bit of a reluctant roll. I mean, I am not detecting any particularly sticky spots, just that it's not as eager to roll along as some of my other models. But well, still you could have some fun with it. Maybe it needs like about 20% more force to get it moving at a clip than say some of my other models. So I mean, once again, not a deal breaker. Nothing feels particularly tight or anything. And in fact, I really like the radical looks of this Renault Espace F1. So there you are. Hope you enjoyed this review. If you did, do give me a subscribe, share among your friends, and most importantly, have a nice day.